This is Barry from Imagination to Reality CNC, and in this video I just want to go through reasons you might be struggling to gain communication with the UCCNC software, or a message may have popped up that you have lost communication with the CNC machine. Even though this video is about connection issues, I do want to mention that we have sold thousands of these units running Windows-based PCs, an Ethernet cable, and running our i2R CNC machines. And generally, connection issues are in very rare occurrences, and it's normally through some of the issues we'll go through in this video that the user has forgot to check. It may be a damaged Ethernet cable, and in very rare instances it may be your Windows settings that we need to look at. But over thousands of machines we've sold, if you set it up right and you listen to our advice of using Ethernet cables only, connection issues are a very, very rare occurrence. UCCNC is a very stable interface to use, which is running on a Windows-based PC. We generally recommend that you keep Windows up to date, but whether you do or you don't, we have not had any interference between older versions of Windows, newer versions of Windows, or running those updates at any time and running your PC. There is rumor out there that you should not keep your control PC connected to the internet and you should turn all updates off. We have no evidence to back this, and we always keep all of our PCs connected to the internet and we let the updates happen as need. Virus scanners as well may update on an occasion, and they may cause an issue with UCCNC or any of your Windows PC software from running. And if that is the case, you can simply add an exception to that software so that the virus scanner or your firewall ignores that software. Some of these problem-solving issues may sound very obvious, but they do lead to reasons why you may lose communication. One of the obvious ones is ensuring that the CNC controller is powered on before you try to start up the UCCNC software. All our CNC machines use an Ethernet cable to communicate between the PC and the CNC. And like all types of communication, you do normally have to wait a few moments while the control box is powered on for that communication to establish. So what I like to do is every time I power on the control box, before rushing to start UCCNC, I count to 10 to allow that connection to establish. If you're still running into communication problems, there is other things you can look at as well. As mentioned, we use an Ethernet cable to communicate between the PC and the control box. We've picked an Ethernet cable for many reasons. It's a very strong and stable connection interface. But you will notice some of the smaller, slimmer laptops may not have an Ethernet port. And that's where some of our users choose to use a USB to Ethernet adapter. And we do not recommend this if possible, and we do recommend that you hardwire the Ethernet cable straight into your control PC, because the USB interface is not as stable as Ethernet and may cause these communication difficulties. Another thing you can look at if you're also struggling to gain connectivity is, have you completed step 1 on the USB key provided? And that's a very important step because it's the step that requires you to set the network settings for that communication to be established. So if you're unsure what I'm talking about, please refer back to the USB key and look for step 1. Another thing we should look at as well if you're struggling with connectivity issues is UCCNC can only have one instance running at a time. And it's very easy to forget that you had an instance of UCCNC running and you've minimized it, and then you've clicked on the shortcut on your desktop again, you've started up a second instance of UCCNC. And this second instance will not establish connection with the machine and may say it's lost connection or something else. So please verify that you're only running one instance of UCCNC at a time. If you've got to this point in the video and you're still struggling to establish a connection with the CNC controller, I recommend that you look at your Windows firewall, or maybe your virus scanner has some sort of firewall settings in there. And just make sure that the port and configuration you've set is not blocked. The final thing that's happened in some very, very rare instances, and I only recommend you look at this if you're having communication difficulty, is sometimes if the Wi-Fi is struggling to get back to wherever the router is and the Wi-Fi connection is intermittent, Windows does struggle and the network with the CNC machine can have issues. Now this is in very, very rare instances. Generally, we have not had any connection issues between the PC and the CNC machine, and ensuring you're connected to the internet and having Windows up to date will not cause any conflict with the software either. Thank you for watching.